Every once in a while, I find something very interesting in a botting Discord. Check out this chat. I can do Emir's Arena and PK Muling Fire Sacks, someone said when discussing botting methods. I was like, wait, you can make money from Emir's Arena, the replacement to the Duel Arena, and someone is botting it? Eventually, I was even able to interview the botter, but first, I rushed to the arena and read the whole wiki page to figure out how bots could even be profiting here, how players could even be profiting. So, how do you make money from the arena? That one chat from Discord was really informative. It said, PK Muling Fire Sacks. The arena has 2 rewards, Blighted Surge Sacks and a Scroll of Imbuing. Both are untradeable. PK Muling the Fire Sacks must obviously mean killing a player in the wilderness with the Blighted Surge Sacks on them, but how much do they drop for? The wiki says they have a value of 45 coins, which doesn't seem that profitable. So first, I needed some rewards points. You only get rewards points by going through the official dueling system, meaning you get randomly paired with someone else to 1v1. The winner gets 16 points, the loser gets 12 points. I did 3 fights very quickly, I won 1, lost 2, and in just a few minutes I had 40 points, which got me 200 Blighted Surge Sacks. Time to go to the wilderness and kill myself on my ult. But first, let's talk about making real money. Did you know the median salary of a backend developer in the US in 2023 was over $100,000? Even more importantly, you don't need to go to school to become a backend developer. That's why the sponsor of this video is so epic. It empowers you to learn software development and get a job, or just pick up a useful new skill. I'm talking about Boot.dev. Boot.dev teaches you backend web development from start to finish in both the Python and Go programming languages. But here's the big kicker. When you're teaching yourself to code, the biggest hurdle is getting bored and not really working towards something. Boot.dev fixes that and gamifies the process. When you're coding with Boot.dev, you earn XP, you level up, you earn achievements, and you complete quests to get a top spot on the global leaderboard. All that happens while you write a lot of code and actually build real projects. Boot.dev never wants a student to feel like they aren't getting their money's worth, so they offer a 30-day no questions asked refund policy and a free demo of every course and its interactive features. So, go to boot.dev and use my code sirpugger to get 25% off your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. Thanks to boot.dev for sponsoring this video. And we're back. Let's see how much GP these Blighted Surge Sacks drop for. I think I need to be over 20 wilderness to convert these to coins. I forgot to skull, so I ended up losing 199 of the runes, and I got 29,850 GP. So they aren't 45 GP each, they drop for 150 GP each. So how abusable is it? 10 points gets you 50 runes, so 5 runes per point, and each rune is 150 GP each, which means each point is 750 GP each. Losing a match is worth 9,000 GP, and winning a match is worth 12,000 GP. That seems like a lot of gold, especially for losing. I was doing some more testing, and you actually still get the points for losing if you immediately forfeit the match, which means the GP per hour is almost entirely based on how quickly you can get a match. The more players there are, the faster you can get a match. Unfortunately for me, there were not very many players doing this, so I was making roughly 600k GP per hour. At one point, I won 2 fights in a row, and I noticed I got 17 points on the second win instead of 16. The wiki doesn't say anything about being rewarded for a kill streak, but it seems like this could get way more profitable, especially if a bot farm is programmed to let some of the bots always win. Here's the only thing. I'm not a good PKer, and there are good PKers participating, so I can't get a long kill streak to test this. But there's one other way to get rewards points: participating in an official tournament instead of being randomly paired in a one-off 1v1 fight. I checked, and there's no one participating in tournaments, but the wiki says the minimum players needed is only 4 to trigger a tournament, and the winner gets extra points, but it doesn't say how many. So if I can play on 4 accounts at once in a tournament and always have the same one win and just repeat tournaments, I'll hit a kill streak and get even more points every time I win, plus extra points for winning the tournament. I'm trying to think like a bot scripter to understand what damage a bot farm could have done. So far, I didn't run into any bots getting reward points at Emir's Arena, although there were a lot of bots there probably related to some gambling scheme. So yeah, basically I tested it. The kill streak reward caps out at 26 points per win. And at least for a 4-man tournament, you get 3 extra points when you win. So one account is getting 52 points for 2 wins, and 3 extra points for the tournament win. and the other 3 accounts basically get like 24 points each. So on 4 accounts, I'm getting 127 points per tournament, and I can do about 24 tournaments per hour. Anyway, the math ends up working out to be about 2.2 mil per hour on 4 accounts, so it's actually slightly worse than just spam forfeiting, even with the reward streak. What about the Imbue Scroll reward? It's 200 points. I checked out how much it drops for in the Deep Wilderness, and it's 2,000 GP. But I read something else on the wiki. If you get the Imbue Scroll, you imbue something, and you die with it in Deep Wilderness, you get refunded in Nightmare Zone points, 650,000 Nightmare Zone points. And I just showed you could pretty easily get 3,000 Arena rewards points per hour on 4 accounts, which is roughly 15 Imbue Scrolls, or 9,750,000 Nightmare Zone points. Cashing out for runes in the reward shop gets you a little less than 2 million GP across the 4 accounts, so not worth it. But if you were patient and you cashed out for herb boxes daily, all of a sudden on 4 accounts, you're making 12 to 13 mil per hour at Emir's Arena. But it's going to take a decent amount of time to cash out all those herb boxes. So I reached out to the botter that had let slip the method, and he was more than happy to tell me about it, and even sent me footage of a couple of the bots running. The script was basic to say the least. The bots don't even forfeit or fight back. The reason he was so willing to tell me and why he mentioned it publicly in the first place was that a little while ago, he started botting the method on 50 accounts, getting 300 to 500 KGP per hour on each account, and in about a week, all 50 accounts were banned. He's guessing because the farm literally doubled the population of the arena world from 50 to 100. And obviously, at least a few players noticed and probably reported all of them, since instead of 4 accounts 1v1ing, 50 accounts were participating. His plan overall was relatively clever, given there are 0 requirements to make the 3 to 500 KGP per hour. It's not really a known moneymaker, given the rewards are untradeable, and there's no way to crash the price of the resource since you're literally converting it to gold in the wilderness. The only thing he really didn't think about was his bots didn't blend in, and they were caught really quickly. In the same few hour period, I got 3 tips about a huge group of bots on World 512 at Mastering Mixology. One of the tippers followed up within a couple minutes that they found the bot swarm trading an account right outside the entrance, probably the mule. So I hopped in as quick as I could, and it looks like we do have 30 to 40 level 30-ish bots in the same world completely swarming Mastering Mixology, which is currently around 2.5 mil GP per hour if you're chefing up Aldarium potions. If these bots run 20 hours a day, just the ones on this world are making well over 1 billion GP per day. One of the guys who tipped me off was there, and we started chatting. The mule apparently had just logged out. We agreed he would go upstairs and wait where the mule was, and I'd stay downstairs to see if any bots ran outside. About 5 minutes pass of just observing the bot farm, and then one of the bots stops and walks up to me and says, "You no-lifers have nothing else to do?" I guess the bot farm owner noticed people were chatting about his operations in front of his bots. As always, I asked for GP to go away, 100 mil this time, and no one ever takes me up on that. But he basically says no, and that even if all these accounts were banned, he has hundreds of other accounts training to take these bots' place, as well as other bot farms around the game. He also said he has 150 to 200 active mixology bots across all worlds, and at 2 to 3 mil per hour per account, he's getting roughly 300 to 600 million GP per hour just from his mixology bots. Eventually, he claimed he and his partner sells around 350 billion GP per week and runs over 2,000 bots on a server with his partner. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. But if this mixology bot farm was suicide botting 20 hours per day, at roughly 450 million GP per hour across the couple hundred accounts he's running, that's 9 bill per day, roughly 63 bill per week. So if he had another 5 equivalent bot farms, that would be 350 billion GP per week, what he claims he makes. I casually said that works out to be something like 140,000 US dollars per month if he sold the gold for 10 cents a mil, and he agreed around that, maybe a little bit lower, noting that he pays his taxes. He didn't want to talk on Discord and said he only had a Telegram, but said maybe he'd message me one day if my public chat was on. So we went our separate ways. Usually the most successful botters are the most secretive, and I only mentioned that I made YouTube videos at the end of the discussion. Of course, he could be making up numbers, or this could be a rare insight into the individuals making close to $1 million a year from RuneScape bots. Let me know in the comments, do you think that guy's full of it, or do you think he and his partner really make 350 bill a week? That's all for today. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all very soon.